What's up, geeks? It's your guy Q here, and we are back with another one. And today is part 5 of God Over Culture. Demetrius is going to be talking about the healthcare system. Super excited about this one. And this is actually 5.1, so he really came with it this time. We got more than one part, this guy, so buckle up. This one's going to be good. Enjoy yourselves. Sit back and let's see what Demetrius has to say. Peace.
Insurance premiums are rising. People are paying more money for insurance. Why are people less likely to go, and why is there more medical debt? Hey, it's Brother Meech here representing Operation KB, aka Kingdom Builders, collaborating with Jesus Geek TV to bring you another exciting Christian message. Today's message title is God Over Culture in the Healthcare System specifically. And this message is part 1, placing your trust in God, not man, for your healing. I pray that God uses this message to enlighten and encourage you towards godly righteousness and repentance for the building up of and salvation of your body and your souls. I'm excited to discuss this topic message today because I see and hear a lot of instances where people are suffering with medical problems, and most of them feel pretty helpless about it. There are even a lot of Christian believers who suffer from medical illnesses needlessly, perhaps possibly because of self-judgment, like recorded in 1 Corinthians 11, chapter 11, verse 28 through 32, or a lack of faith, or just other beliefs or traditions or myths, or genealogies, or even old wives' tales that people have told to lead them to believe or trust in the natural way of things, or in some cases, falsely trust in false supernatural means for their healing. But I'm excited today to declare to you that when you have God as your great physician, there is no sickness or illness or disease or condition that can overcome you or overtake you that God is not able to deliver you from. And that by having faith in God, which is the key to success, you can overcome every medical situation and problem, and also any other problem in life, because without faith it is impossible to please God. I'd like to go in for a minute, just to kind of begin this topic discussion with, sharing some facts and statistics about the healthcare industry to you. The global healthcare industry was worth about $8.45 trillion in 2018. And according to another report, that global healthcare spending could reach over $10 trillion by 2022. The U.S. has the greatest healthcare spending, sitting at $10,224 per capita. The U.S. spends twice what other countries do on healthcare. There are 784,000 companies in the U.S., approximately, in the U.S. Healthcare sector, and the health insurance companies reported doubling billion-dollar profits during the pandemic in the second quarter of 2020. compared to the second quarter of 2019. So just to be clear, the health insurance companies were reporting doubling billion-dollar profits in the second quarter of 2020. You know what 2020 is like for most of us. In 2009, employer healthcare premiums rose about 57%, or on average about $7,459 per year. The United Healthcare reported a medical loss ratio of 70.2%, accounting for its record profits in the second quarter of 2020. So I had to do a little research into the medical loss ratio to really find out what it meant and what it was speaking of. And from what I have determined, the medical loss ratio basically explains the portion of the money that's spent on medical insurance premiums that was spent to run the regular day-to-day business. So that's paying for, insurance premiums, paying the doctors, paying for the surgeries or whatever, medications, whatever the medical insurance agencies are responsible for, paying the salaries for the people that work for them, and everything else. The 29.8% of that, that money is the profits. So that's how they were doubling billion-dollar profits, because that 28% that doesn't get spent to run the business is included as profits. So that's where the profits came from, the doubling billion-dollar profits. A December 19 poll conducted by the Gallup Group, organization, found that 25% of Americans say they or a family member have delayed medical treatment for serious illness due to the cost and care of the medical procedures, and an additional 8% reported delaying medical treatment for serious illnesses. A study conducted by the American Cancer Society in 2019 of May found that 56% of adults in America report having at least one medical financial hardship, and researchers warned that that this problem will probably worsen. Basically, will likely get worse if there's no action that's being taken soon to rectify the issue. And then another Dr. Robin Yarboff, lead author in American Cancer Society study, said last month at the Gallup poll that the Gallup's poll's finding that 25% of Americans were delaying care was consistent with the numerous other studies documenting that many in the United States have trouble paying their medical bills. So, I mentioned all of the medical statistics to kind of focus in on the fact on a couple things. One, we can see from the statistical data and the studies shown that a lot of money is being made and spent in the healthcare industry. We see the insurance companies are doubling billion-dollar profits, but we also see from the data that many people are delaying getting healthcare. So if insurance premiums are rising, people are paying more money for insurance, why are people less likely to go, and why is there more medical debt? What's going on here? What's the real issue that's really plaguing this system? What we can see is that this system of greed, which is plaguing many of the companies and many of the industries in not just America but in the world, has taken its toll on the healthcare system, making it very difficult for people to get the help that they really need from the healthcare industry. But what can we do? What can we do when the institutions and the businesses, which are supposed to be here to support us and to help us receive a better quality of life, fail us due to their own greed? What can we do about that? Well, the word says that we must trust God for our deliverance and believe in God to receive healing. And we can read more about that in Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 through 8. Now, I want to take a moment to kind of consider God and just think of God in all of his great magnificence, in all of his excellence. I'm going to, I want to talk a little bit about some things that I found out when I was going to college. I learned about in psychology about the human brain, and in the brain they have these things called neurons. Now, neurons are chemical or information messengers. They send electrical impulses via chemical electrical impulses via chemical messages to transmit, information through the body so that you can control all of pretty much every portion of your body. Your neurons send messages to wiggle your fingers or blink your eyes or move your toes or change your facial expressions. That's what the purpose of neurons are. And your consciousness has the ability to manipulate and to use these neurons to make all of these different things in your body happen, and control them, to keep you from doing certain things and control certain things happening. However, there are these two neurons in the brain that science has, or that the textbooks have coined, auto-firing neurons. And these auto-firing neurons are responsible for controlling two functions. There are only two functions in the body that these auto-firing neurons control. And other than the two auto-firing neurons, or the auto-firing neurons that control these two functions, you as a human being have control over all of the others. So you can control every other neuron except for these two. You have no control over.